Mobile Tech RX, the app that helps you make more money.
Don't forget to grab your Magnatech mat, available at most PDR tool distributors.
Hey there, gentlemen, ladies, if you are a lady listening, I apologize. This is Hudson Tansey. I'm here on the PDR Tool Time podcast. We are on episode 261. That is 261 for our Spanish-speaking listeners. I have Daniel Grom and John Renstrom. Vince is a little bit under the weather. I don't know if he'll be on or not, but I wasn't here last week because I was under the weather with the stomach flu. So I'm no longer peeing out my butthole, and now I'm here.
Hey. Keep it clean.
Oh,
Dang
sorry. I've never had the stomach flu
Go to
before.
church,
That was
young man. Go to church, young man.
Quite the experience.
I don't want to hear about your experiences now.
These poor guys.
Way too much information.
I'm home all day, just on the toilet.
Okay. Stop.
And these guys have to hear me talking about it all day. Man. Daniel's done.
I want that potty talk. No potty talk.
I've just been working like crazy. We actually slowed down at work, so I thought it'd be a really cool idea to buff out this entire RV. Now that I'm halfway through with this thing, I don't know whose genius idea it was, but I hope I could kick his ass someday if I get enough strength left in me.
Now, you know what's amazing is, I'm right next to my detailers and I'm watching them all day, and they detail cars all day doing all that stuff. And you know how hard it was, right?
Oh, yeah. I need a different buffer. Honestly, my 20-year-old DeWalt, it's a great rotary buffer, but it weighs like 8 pounds. It's one of the old tanks. There's so many good, but I don't want to buy. I'm buying a lot of stuff already. I shop a lot at Auto Geek, I'll tell you.
Well, I have the Milwaukee battery buffer. Because if you're serious about your trade and you're doing a dent, and like you get a big panel like on a truck and you got a big dent, sometimes you have to pull out the big guns, and having a battery one, really, that Milwaukee is fantastic. I love that thing.
And for a dent guy, that's perfect. But I'm buffing a 24-foot long, 12-foot tall RV. I can't have enough batteries for that.
Oh, you would be surprised how long the battery lasts. But I got a what is it, an 8 now?
Yeah.
You start off with
the
2.5
hours. Yep.
Yeah. And that thing goes for a long time.
I get it all done. I'll post some pictures along with the tools and materials used, because I'm ceramic coating this beast as well. Nice. Been a heck of a project. My shoulders are sore. We actually had to fix a whole hail truck today to just rest.
So that kind of brings us into we want to talk a little bit about what are we doing to protect our bodies. You're using your shoulders. And we wanted to talk a little bit about what we're doing. Right, gentlemen? How about you, Hudson? What do you do to help your body out?
Yeah. So I'm still relatively young, but I do have a weekly. I'm 33, I do weekly chiropractic. I think it's very wise that all the weird positions we put our bodies through. Regular. I think the key to anything is we are very prone to repetitive movement type injuries. So like tennis elbow, tendonitis, and then also I think we'll probably be prone to carpal tunnel.
Yep.
Side note, like I have a manager at one of my dealerships who got carpal tunnel simply from using a mouse for so many years because of having his wrist tweaked like that
all the time
and moving it that he created carpal tunnel. So now he has a special mouse that keeps his wrist in a neutral position. And that changed the way I did. And that's why I've been such a proponent now of this tactical, Gorilla Grip, is the adjustable grip, and having a neutral grip has become so much more important to me to prevent carpal tunnel type injuries.
I
Now,
agree.
the repetitive type injury thing. So what that means is working out. And that means just moving my body and my muscles in ways that I'm not doing on a day in and day out basis. So we all know the repetitive motions that we're using all the time while we're pushing like this, like forward, we're pushing down, we're pulling. So we're even squeezing a lot with our hands. So I a couple episodes back, by a couple, I mean like probably 20 or so, I have these like little silicone bands that I keep in my van that I put my fingers through, and it's a resistance, but instead of squeezing inwards,
Pulling
I
out.
squeeze, I have to release my hand outwards because I always use the muscles to squeeze down on things, and I want to reverse that repetitive. So I think a lot of mine is preventative of reversing repetitive movements. So if I'm going to be doing a lot of movement to my left, I'm probably going to go and try to do something on my right side later and things like that. So chiropractic care and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I basically own every single massage thing they've ever sold on Amazon. And the things that really help me the most, I have a fantastic massage chair that I've had for 20 years, and it still works. And
What chair is that?
You've been married 20 years, right?
Huh? My wife bought it for me for my birthday 20 years ago. And it was one of the first ones at Brookstone, and it's just a simple one. Now they have ones that look like spaceships.
Yeah.
And
I've got I have a iJoy. That's a 20-year-old massage chair, and it works you over pretty heavy. That's why
I just love that thing. And then this year I got a hot tub, which, for recovery is fantastic. And then
I'm trying to convince my wife that I need a hot tub. She doesn't.
Do.
She's like, no, they're gross. And we're gonna have teenagers one day. I don't want teenagers in a hot tub.
Well, she's got a point. I cannot argue with that.
No, you got nowadays they you just do a little chemical stuff. It kills everything, dude. It'll take your skin off.
Well, see, I visit the chiropractor regularly, and I take CBD oil, and that actually, it did take me quite a bit of experimenting with different brands of CBD oil, though, before I found the one that works for me really well. And then,
and hold on, John, I'm using the same brand you use now, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, from CBD Direct Oil.
CBD Direct.
Yep,
guys, I'm gonna let you know right now. I've used all kinds of CBDs as well, and they've all been like, pretty good. I finally bought the 3,500 milligram CBD balm, like the CBD balm from CBDdirectoils.com. Guys, it's more effective than the stuff that has THC. That
I prefer the balm over the taking the tinctures. Just for my sore muscles.
Sorry. If guys, CBD Direct Oil, they used to sponsor us. And that's how I found out about them, and they're incredible.
Yeah,
they're good stuff.
Go ahead, John.
And the guys are great when you ship stuff out. Now, something that I just started, because I've got some pretty serious back injuries. I suffer from sciatica, and what it's causing is my left calf to the muscles to contract all the time, and it's pulling my foot muscles, and it's actually causing plantar fasciitis in my foot because it's forcing my foot to ball up.
Yep.
So I have to keep that in a constant stretch. But now I'm testing out an FDA approved electromagnetic therapy, and so I'm testing that out. I've only had one treatment of that, so it's too soon to say much. But yeah, I see chiropractor regularly, and it's pretty easy, man, to throw yourself out.
Here's what you got to get. You got to go. They sell them at Best Buy. A Theragun, and it's a massage gun that is fantastic. Comes with different attachments, and it's super powerful. And I use it on the bottom of my feet, on my wrists every single night. I do my forearms every single night. I do my hands, and my shoulders. I mean, it is just so good. It's so good.
Makes a world of difference.
Oh,
now I have a TENS unit, and I'll use that.
I have one of those too
at different times. Now, what about stretching, Daniel? You talked about yoga, so
I threw my back out a few weeks back, and so Apple came out with their new fitness app, and if you have an Apple Watch, it's right on your phone. You get to close the rings kind of thing, and you log on, and you can do yoga, you can do core exercises, you can do they have all kinds of different workouts. You can do dance workouts, whatever floats your boat. But the yoga has been phenomenal. Just stretching out they do stretches on your forearms and your hands and your shoulders and your whole body. And so I've been getting up early every morning. I do 45 minutes. I usually do it with the one guy that has the short hair on the app, because he seems to do all the stretches that really affects your hips. And when you put your hips in line, when you stretch all that out, you're aligning your hips, which help your knees, help your back, help your neck, help your shoulders, everything.
Now, is this the same health app that's on your phone here? I know
you have to have an Apple Watch to make it work.
Oh,
it doesn't work without an Apple Watch. But what's cool is I put it on the big screen, and you log on with your watch, and then you see your watch up in the corner, so you can see where your heart rate is. You see everything.
You don't have to have an Apple Watch.
Huh?
You don't have to have an Apple Watch.
You sure?
Yeah.
I thought you did.
So then because I have an Apple TV there in my living room, so you can just
Apple TV has it.
Connect it. Oh, okay. So I'll have to check that out and try it just a little bit.
Yeah.
I learned buffing on this RB. That's using muscles I haven't used in 16 years.
Yeah.
For you guys that are hell chasers. For you guys that are hell chasers, and you're like, well, I can't, like, I'm traveling. We got to look. What is it? Beachbody. Beachbody's like $15 a month. You can put it up on your phone, on your iPad, on your computer, and you have access to all kinds of yoga, stretching, and stuff like that.
That's the one thing that's came out of this pandemic that, with all these, everybody staying home, they've come out with all this stuff. So there's endless amount of places you can go to get a workout.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah. Different workout stuff. All right. Well, now speaking of work stuff, so we've kind of slowed down, but Jesse and I are constantly, keeping an eye on our schedule. We run pretty tight. We know how, our day goes. But Hudson, a while back, you talked about getting an assistant. What's an update?
What's the update? Yeah.
Give the update. Where are we at?
This is my first official week where I have not, everything on my calendar was not scheduled by me.
Okay. How's that going?
So far, it's been pretty good.
So you hired an individual, is that right?
I have hired someone. So yes. And the way I found this person, everyone's like, how'd you find this person? I lucked out, and unfortunately, this isn't going to be helpful for anyone. It's the sister of a body shop owner that I used to service this body shop. It was a mom and pop shop, and she did the books. This dude sold the body shop to a corporate place for some big money, and then she was out of a job because they didn't need, the body shop owner's sister doing the books for them. So I was like, well, I can't pay you as much, but the business. So how do you think about this? And you get to work from home with your kid and stuff. She's like, sold.
Nice.
So I'm paying her, and she now takes all my phone calls. She takes all my text messages, my Yelp messages.
You got a Tony.
I got a Tony, but it's for mobile. Yeah. She's doing all my, she's doing all my estimating. I've trained her on how to estimate over the phone.
Awesome.
we only do ballpark estimates over the phone.
Sure.
And and there's also a disclaimer at the end of like, look, this is the parameters you've given us, but when the technician arrives, he is going to measure it and then add all the factors and then give you a for sure price. And it could be above or below this ballpark price. We're only going off of your measurements.
Yeah.
So and so far I've serviced I think 7 people this week that are all scheduled by her, estimated by her. Now,
did any of the customers voluntarily comment about her?
That was my question as well.
No one's commented about her.
Okay.
Like in any way, shape, or
good,
form.
bad, or ugly. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so yeah, and yeah, it's been pretty good. Just so far. And the thing is I was talking to her yesterday and she was like, this phone doesn't stop. I go, what do you mean? She's like, it's just text, phone call, voicemail, message, voicemail, email. Like it just goes and goes. It just keeps ringing. She's like, how did you ever get any work done? Ever.
Right.
And I'm like, because I made her come and see me work and see how I fix dents and all that kind of stuff. She needed to. So she saw the process and she was already familiar with it, but I wanted her to be seeing a more intense process.
That was good.
So she saw that and was totally familiar with it now. And she knows what it takes to fix dents. And she was just like I said yesterday, she was like, I don't know how you got anything done.
So now for you and your mental health, because let's face it, those phones interruptions and our job can just add
frustrate the heck out
stress.
of
you. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, is the biggest thing. And my buddy Matt Moore, because Matt Moore is one of my best friends and he and I talk all the time. And he and I go back and forth on business ideas because I'm the kind of guy that I'm okay with this just being me and just I want to become more efficient and be the best I am. I don't care to build a empire. Matt Moore, he's building an empire, right? And so he and I have our different opinions there because I don't want the stress of what he's dealing with. Like, I'm like,
right.
Can I do what he's doing? Absolutely. That's because I'm an overly confident SOB. But and I can do anything I put my mind to. But the stress I had just from being the one-man show was so overwhelming. And the longest time I was like, dude, you just need to get someone to do your phones. You need to get someone. I'm like, and the longest time I fought it because I've had that phone number since I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
And it turned into Dentgens. And now everyone knows this Dentgens. And anyone that's ever want to get a hold of me, they've known the same number. And I had to get over a lot of mental hurdles in my brain. Sure. And I'm still having to go through and like the other day I needed to do something and I had to get a code sent because I signed into a new computer and the code went to my old phone. I'm like, crap. And I was like, I got to train, all the stuff that I have to change over to my new phone number.
Yeah.
And that's
it's going to happen. You're going to go rely on her for a while and then she's going to be sick or she's going to be on vacation and you're going to be pissed off at this phone ringing all of a sudden. That's awesome, dude. I think that's a big step. And you know what? I've called you, I've talked to you on the phone during the day and I can tell when you're distracted. And if customers feel that way, you're not connecting with them. So I think it's a good move.
Oh yeah. I remember there was this one customer who texted me at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. And it was a day I was at one of my dealerships and I had 26 cars to do that day. And 6 o'clock rolls around and I'd get to respond to this customer. 6 o'clock rolls around and the guy goes, well, I guess I'm not good enough for your services. I'll just move on then. And I got so freaking pissed. I put my freaking tools down and I called them. I go, hey, how's it going? This is Hudson with Dentgens. He's like, he didn't think, I guess he didn't think I was going to call him. Like, look, I just want you to know, I've got 26 cars in front of me today. And I know that you texted me at 11 o'clock and I haven't responded yet. But that's not because you're not important to me. It's because I have 26 cars in front of me and I'm a one-man show and I'm trying to do this all myself. So if you want to go ahead and use someone else, please, by all means, use someone else. But you just need to know I'm a local business and I'm as local as you get. I'm a one-man show doing everything. I answer the phones, the text message, and I fix the cars. If you have a problem with that, please go use some corporate company that's going to take better care of you and answer your phone in a matter of minutes. But if you want someone that's going to do high quality, has 5-star reviews, and is so busy he can't get right back to you because of how good he is, then please let's set something up. And I'll even set it up right now while I have you on the phone. He's like, okay, yeah, when do you have available? I was so freaking pissed. And I was like, really? Like, really?
I really look forward to the end of this summer or midsummer getting a 6-month update and seeing how this progresses as a one-man band, because I'm a one-man band, but my wife has always been available, and so that's always been the task that she's had, ever since we worked together in the body shop. So it's very interesting to me to go from that similar mindset that you and I share in those regards of I can do it all.
Yeah.
And I will prove it and relinquish that power.
The one thing that's already been weird is I have just in the 2 days, it's just the 2 days of doing this, I've had so much downtime in between jobs because I'm getting done so quick.
Yeah.
So here I'll tell you this. Whenever I switched to my van, when I went from my truck to a van and I put all my tools on a cart, I saw a $30,000 jump in my income the next year.
Yeah.
And I attribute most of that to efficiency. The efficiency of having my tools within arm's reach rather than being tethered to the back of my truck, where I have to walk back and forth between the car I'm working on and the truck because I kept all my tools in the back and I would just rummage through it. Now I'm wondering what's going to happen because, and now because of the van, I was able to fit more jobs in to the day. And
that's nice.
Because of efficiency. So instead of doing 4 jobs a day, I could fit 6 or 7. And now what's happening is I had 4 jobs today and I was kind of like twiddling my thumbs. Like I can't get I got done like an hour and a half and I got an hour and a half to my next job. And so I'm like calling the customers, see if I can come early. And they're like, oh no, sorry, I won't be home till then. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to take a really long lunch. And so that's some things that I'm going to have to work on. And
maybe this will be a time to find some little yoga stretches you can do right there in the van,
right?
You're do the yoga.
But so it's been good. It's been really good so far. I have nothing negative to say. It's a learning process, and trying to be someone who's patient with someone that's learning something new. Like today, one thing is she scheduled a job at 3:30 today, and I got there, and the job was about a 9-inch dent. In a double paneled area across 2 body lines. And so I was like, and it was a high strength steel. So this metal just wasn't budging. And I got and I started losing daylight. And so I had to call her. I'm like, look, if it's a dent bigger than a softball, like we can't schedule it past 3 o'clock, because I'm going to lose daylight and I want to get home to my kids also for dinner. And so, I mean, these are little things that I just, that we'll learn.
But you expect those. Those are things you just have to adjust for. That's good,
absolutely.
Man. So I know we're going to have some listeners that we're piquing some curiosity, but expense wise, what's a ballpark area that, you're in outside of Houston, Texas?
Yeah.
For everybody, just to keep in mind.
Now I'm paying, what am I paying? I think I'm paying $20 an hour of actual working hours. And I give her a minimum of I pay her a minimum of $200 a week. Okay. So if she only works 5 hours, she's still going to make $200. So at the very least, it's $800 a month for me now.
So you gave her an hourly plus a base, basically. She's always guaranteed to make something.
Yes,
So-
and it was before answering phones. She was just doing a bunch of paperwork and like administrative stuff for me, sending out statements at the end of the month, and I was paying her a base of $100.
Okay.
And so what she does, she just basically takes all her phone minutes that she can just take all the phone minutes on the phone and add those all up at the end of the week, and then she just kind of keeps track of things, and it's just an honor system.
But then doing that, you have a way of keeping track too. So that's a very interesting and very creative way of doing the pay. I'm glad.
Yeah, and it's very small mom and pop type operation. Like I'm just trusting her that she's going to do that. Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't monitor anything. I'm just purely trusting. Now I'm sure there's companies out there that do this and do it for cheaper and whatever, but she's
to get the right person, man. Sometimes, it's like finding the right dent guy. It ain't cheap.
Yeah, I'd rather work with someone that I know and I trust, and it's helping their family out, and because she's a mom.
When I first hired Tony, she was $20 an hour when I first hired her.
Yeah.
So, I pay her more now, of course, but it was worth every penny. Every penny.
Yeah.
But boy, that's something to really think about, guys and ladies. If you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off,
it's really freeing when I'm at my shop. A perfect day for me is if I don't have to talk to a customer. That's a perfect day when I'm just sitting down with my head down, just pushing dents all day, and I count how many cars I can do in a day. And honestly, if I can get to a certain number, I know the money's going to be there, and then some.
Yeah.
Well, for me, the perfect day is a day where I have no phone calls interrupting my conversations with my customers. Because the reason why I stay mobile is because of how much I love.
That's another thing. Yeah.
People. I just love people. And so I can't tell you how many times I'm having a good conversation with someone while fixing their dents, and then a phone call comes through and I have to I'm sorry, let me take this really quick. Yeah. And I don't have to worry about that anymore.
So that's got to be pretty freeing.
So,
good job, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it works out well. But enough about me, Daniel. I hear you got.
Yeah, let's shift some gears into some tools.
Yeah, you've got some MacGyver handle looking thing, huh?
Dude. So last year at MTE, I suggested to Steve that he needed to come up. He's had the same handle system.
Steve
for a
from
while.
Ultra.
Well, Steve from Ultra, sorry, thank you. And so I made a suggestion, and he then texted me back what he was working on, and because of the way he was putting this thing together, it spurred some more ideas, and I made some more suggestions. And so yesterday I got his whole handle system, and it's basically a Swiss Army knife handle.
So it's a modular handle system.
Yeah. So
is it the same octagon?
So let's start with the hub. So the one thing you'll see is it's short on one side. So when you're using it as a normal little handle for doing hail underneath, it's not gonna rub.
Yeah.
Okay.
On that.
Not like having a normal T handle where you've got that back piece that sticks out.
Yeah.
Hits door frames.
Some other guys, B&D came out with one, but his sticks up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so by having it flush, it's really a big advantage. And of course, this is his quick release system that he's had out for a while. And it's also ratcheting on top of that.
Oh.
So
wait,
it's ratcheting.
By ratcheting, what and how do you ratchet? Do you have to take it off entirely, or show us?
You pull it just like any ratchet system,
but it still stays on. So it's not like the tactical where you have to remove it entirely.
Correct.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's the thing about it though, is it still just an octagon?
Yeah, it's still same.
That's
same
still Ultra's
system.
octagon. Yeah.
Yeah. That's my thing about Ultra is like I don't like the octagon. That doesn't give me as much choices. I have like 36 choices with the tactical.
Yeah, but now he's made this handle ratcheting, so you have unlimited.
Yeah. So with the ratcheting, it's kind of like the tactical.
Snap it back on there, Daniel, and show
show
how
us
that
here
ratchets just a little bit.
So the ratchet system is in quarter turns, or in the same increments as the tactical.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to show. So
yeah, I got you.
Okay, so
so once you snap that onto the tool, then you pull up on the handle and move it over.
And it moves just like the tactical one. It has gears inside of it, just like the tactical.
Yeah, you can index it those 1 or 2.
So you do have those same choices that you have with the tactical.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
this is all interesting.
Now, if I can get this, so when you get them, they're tight when they're new. They work out.
Now the handle extensions aren't screwing on, right? Like tactical, we know we screw them together.
They're just like a socket set. So they have the little peen ball in them.
And then they got a square. For those that aren't watching on the YouTube, they are a square drive. So when you snap those in, you can't unscrew them.
Right.
But you do have to snap them in and out.
Correct. And then there's a set screw on the other side so you can set that tension, how hard you want that to be.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
So you can set the tension that the little ball that it's
so it's not. It comes pretty good the way it is. But
also, if they do start to loosen as you use them, you can tighten them up just a little bit.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So
cool.
Now hold on before we move on. It is the one thing I'm not liking about this. It is just raw metal that's kind of etched.
So he sends the X grip, comes with it.
Okay, and you can put it on there if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Mike told me a little tech tip. What he does is he puts a couple of pieces of tape on first.
Yeah.
And then puts the X grip over it. And he says over time the X grip can loosen up and pull off. If you put that tape over like in the middle, it'll give it a little bit of a bump.
Mm-hmm.
It'll keep it on for longer and won't wear out.
Okay.
That was a little Mike tech tip. So now I have a T handle. So now I went from a right handle to a T handle. So you have a T handle, right? Now, if you want a ball on the end, you can put a ball on the end. And what's nice about it is you can unscrew this, but what's nice is not having to screw it and just being able to pop it on.
Yeah, that is a nice feature because I am noticing on my tactical right now, I'm like, man, I need to buy a couple more of these balls and just put them on these things because it's just a nice feature. Yeah.
But not having to unscrew it and screw it on all the time.
Yep.
It's faster. But
also, that's a great noise. Do that again. Do that again near the mic. Yeah. Just put it near the mic. Just get some ASMR. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, they fit tight. They're nice.
Well, yeah, and you need a little break in on that. Now, on the motorcycle tanks, because those are the only ultra tools I have with the hubs on them. But man, I was reefing on a Yamaha tank, and it didn't matter, even with the tactical handle, the pressure that was required to do some of these bike tanks. And that's where I can really see the advantage to what you're showing here, Daniel, is you're holding with one hand and you're propping with your forearm on the flat paddle on there. And that's giving you full body pushes. And the part that your wrist is or your elbows sort of pushing against, that's a flat bar, isn't it? With a pad that wraps around it.
So basically, it's just a flat bar. And then he's got this pad. It's got a Velcro piece on it. But honestly, I was also using this, holding it like a steering wheel and doing some twisting with it. And this pad feels really good in your hand. I was like, hey, that's not a bad handle.
Now, you don't feel like you're going to separate those and unclick them at all when you're running it like that steering wheel stuff?
No, not at all. It's pretty stout, man.
I don't know.
What's cool about this
send me this whole setup so I can determine if it is good or not.
Right. So you think about Ian Cordell, big dude.
Yeah.
So now you can have it really big. And then comes along Crystal, and she's just a little dainty thing. And now you can shorten it
Funny
up.
that you call yourself Crystal nowadays.
Or Hudson, we know about Hudson's small hands. So let me make a Hudson one.
Once again,
There
I
we
think
go.
we've covered
There's
this.
a
The ones
Hudson's-
are the same size as yours.
There's the Hudson one. Here you go. So
that's pretty interesting. Now, I don't think that's on their site yet, is it, Daniel?
So it comes in as the handle system is separate from these two pieces here. Oops. So these two pieces are sold separately as a separate unit. So this is like 150, I believe. The whole handle system is $395. It's not cheap, dude. It is not cheap, but so if you're all in, you'll be under $500, I guess, for the whole thing. But
I'm gonna get some.
You're making how many different handle combinations with this thing? So yeah, you're gonna pay for it, and I'm sure everybody will bitch about it. But
the thing is, though, this is, especially for the guys that are doing the bike tanks, because that's where I noticed the required leverage is absolutely insane on these bike tanks.
So today I was working on a 65 GTO, working on a front fender, and I ended up putting it in there, and I was using it kind of like a steering wheel at one point, and then I ended up using it 3 different ways on this one dent that I was working on. But that's old metal, it's super heavy duty. But it was so nice to be able to, I can do this. Now I can do this. I'm going to say it's a game changer. It's a game changer. I think people are going to really dig it once they get it in your hands and playing with it. It's fun. It's like you can be real creative when making a handle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I that's interesting. Tell Steve he needs to send those to me.
Okay.
I'll even send them back after. No, I'll even send them back after I'm done. I just want to. I want to do a comparison between that and the tactical. Yeah. I think it would be a good comparison. There's a couple things out there on the market now that are all kind of similar but different, and I would love to do like all those comparison videos.
And I love Kiko and everything, and I got their handle last year, and it didn't quite work the way I wanted to. It
appears to have a lot more flexibility to it.
Yeah, I had a hard time.
Isn't it don't they call it the JVF? Is that what it's called? The Kiko handle?
I'm not sure.
Now you're gonna make me go see if I can.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of. I went to go to use it, and I'm thinking it's going to be what I need, but it wasn't quite there. I don't know.
Leverage handle.
Yeah, it's the JVF Ergo Power Arm.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean the pistol grip is actually really, really nice. I've actually taken off the forearm part, and I've used it as a pistol grip handle. It's because that thing's molded right to your fist, which is cool.
Yeah, I can definitely see how this new handle from Ultra has a lot more flexibility to it.
I don't know if flexibility is the right word you want to use there, John. For our handles, we don't want flex, right? We want
but I mean
versatility. Do you mean
versatility? Yeah,
but it all goes into what we were talking about earlier about saving your body, saving your wrists, saving your forearms. All that.
Yes,
it all comes into that. And for you young guys out there, you got to think about your bodies. Yeah, because if you're going to be in this, I'm next month, 1st of April, it'll be 28 years for me.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, your body hurts after that long.
Well, and Daniel, you did bring up something when you made the statement about Crystal and just talking about, but size difference, you you no longer have to use the brute force and ignorance. A smaller person can take the leverage that a handle like this creates and do a big smash without having to, and physically be able to push it.
Yeah.
Without having to hurt themselves.
We all have old tools, and every once in a while I'll pull out an old tool because it's the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
And you got this old janky handle on the thing, and you're just like, how did I ever use this thing?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, chop off the handle, send it off to whoever to have them put an end on it so you can put it on your new stuff.
You know what? That's a great that's a great thing to segue into our next segment that we're doing tonight, and that's the oldies but goodies.
Yeah, oldies but goodies.
Yeah, the oldies but goodies. We talked about health and business tips, and then we went into new tools, and now basically old tools that we've had on our cart for a while. That hey, let's go ahead and just talk about it. And we don't know what. And John's got one, and I have one, and I'm excited to see what John brought because I don't know what he got. So what do you got, John? What are you bringing to the table?
So I brought the classic 36-inch Dentcraft double bend. Now, this particular rod here is 16 years old.
Ooh.
So, I mean, this has been
Is that the blade tip?
That is the blade tip.
Yeah. Classic.
So, Dentcrafts has had this throughout the years. Now, this finally left only a couple months ago. Did this leave my day-to-day cart, and it's now on my secondary cart. And it's only got replaced with the new tubbed tequila double shot of 36-inch.
Yeah.
It took a tool 16 years before I was like, you know what? This one's going home. And the hub is exactly what Daniel just said, is a major driving force on that.
Yeah.
But this tool still is a reach and go-to rod. 16 years, still going strong.
It's got that pipe handle.
Got the old school pipe handle where you could screw the extension into the end of it.
Yep.
Just an all-around rock star of a tool. Fits through any half-inch hole. So snakes through into them quarter panels, right behind those taillight clip holes. Man, just...
Did you ever use the heel of the tool to repair?
Oh, I've used every portion of this tool, and I've even pushed a dent or two with the handle.
So the tequila one you have is a sharp tool, though, right?
Yes.
So it's a lot sharper than this one.
A lot sharper. Now, this does have a pretty sharp tip when you're just pushing with that tip. But one of the nice things that this has over that tequila is when you rock it onto its side, and you can use this part.
Got a little
bit of a rounded edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to be coming out with those double shots in a round blade, I believe.
Yeah. And that'll be...
He sent me one.
Right.
And it looks exactly like that. Yeah.
Yep.
But it's also shaved. It's like that isn't shaved that much, right?
Not too awful much.
Not like today's.
So,
not like today's.
Yeah, not like today's tool.
That's a 1990s shave.
Yes. But an all-around, just a darn good, handy money-making tool. I'm making a lot of money with this rod.
So the new ones he's coming out with it's shaved, so you can really sneak it down some braces or down some fender wells and get right down to the edge of a fender well if you're in a quarter panel or something like that, which is really, really nice and still have the strength that you need, but a softer tip. So, obviously you need a sharper tip for aluminum and high strength steel, but sometimes you have just a soft dent and you just need a softer tip tool.
All right, Hudson, what's your old standby?
Dude, if you don't have this tool, then are you even a dent guy?
I see a Dentcraft handle flopping into there just a little bit.
So here we go. We're gonna go and I'm gonna slowly bring it into the screen here, and then as soon as you see the bend, you're gonna know exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's got to be a whale tail.
Look at that bend. Look at that beautiful.
Now,
bend.
have you been snaking that into doors? Because I don't have one of my whale tails bent that direction.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a door dinger. So here's the deal. Almost all my tools that are not like chrome plate or whatever plating or stainless or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything that isn't that, it is it's covered in rust, you know.
Well, you're in a very humid area.
Yeah. So but this guy right here, he's used so much that
the oil's off your finger.
The oil's on my hands, man. Just keep this bad boy protected. I use it so much. And I even have the new Blim one now, because I have the Blim. Now this is the Dentcraft 24 WT or the WT-24. So it's a whale tail 24 inch. So it's 2 feet long. This is your go-to. And the bend that I have in it is an S bend. Now this is the thing that you step on it with your foot on the ground, you bring it, and then you flip it over and you step it on, then you bring it back the other way. And I remember one time being at MTE, and Wade, who had trained me, and I'm there, and it's like, I don't know, it's like my second or third MTE, and Wade's like looking at some well tails, and he goes over to the Dent Gear booth. And Dent Gear has like, you know, there, whatever that is, it nickel plating or whatever plane that made it like shiny. And he like Sal's there, and like Wade's like, so are these bendable? And like Sal's like, yeah, these are bendable. He's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. And he's like, can I try it? And he's like, yeah. And so like Wade does it and like does how we do the Dentcraft ones and steps on it and like bends it like crazy.
And cracks.
And like Sal's eyes get huge, and he's like, I didn't know when you said bendable, I didn't know you meant like that. And luckily it didn't break on him, you know.
Did it crack?
But it was good. Dude, I loved Dent Gear tools when they were around. I love it. And I can't wait for Dentcraft to hurry up and get their crap together and get it.
Nobody's holding their breath on that one.
Man, you know, Dentcraft, they want to make sure they're putting out. I mean, look, how long have they been making this whale tail? Right? Have they had to change it? Have they had to change it?
I bought that whale tail at the same time I bought the full company set when I got this 16 years ago. And
I'm pretty sure that I think Dentcraft's mentality is, you know, let's take the time and bring it to market, but make sure it's right.
Right. Yeah.
Versus some people will go and make a tool and then like, oh, you know what? We could probably make it a little bit better. Oh, let's make a version, whatever.
Yeah.
No, they just want to make it right, put it out there right the first time. And I appreciate that, even though I'm impatient and I want Dent Gear stuff now.
Okay, we're talking about Dent Gear, so I'm pulling out an old tool.
Oh, but you can't bring an old tool that people can't get anymore.
Yep.
Oh.
The devil's
if
tail.
Dentcraft would make it, it would be this. I got this at Dent Gear.
I have like 3 of those. I don't use any of them.
You don't use this on the. It's the only tool that will get on a lip of like a Honda front fender.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets down into the groove. It gets right down to the edge and pushes out the edge. I love this thing.
Shake your groove thing.
Yeah. And I want Dentcraft to make this friggin' tool.
Yeah.
They don't have anything like it. Nobody else makes anything like it. They bought the rights. Put the damn tool out.
Yeah. You got to be a door dinger to need that. You know, the number of times I fix a wheel lip is countable on fingers per year.
Hey, you know what? But I wonder if you could use that on the top of a roof where you have that brace right near the edge. And if you could just like, if you had a big old dent there, and
if you have enough room in there, you could.
If you could bring it in and just
I normally just
behind and
grab my hook tool.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
But it just
quick and easy.
I tend to use it a lot on Honda Accords.
I can see that on a Honda
Toyotas.
Fender. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that fender. That'd be a great fender tool.
You know what's really pissing me off with a lot of front fenders on cars nowadays is they're double paneling them.
I know it.
Dude,
I just did a
I went and looked at an Escalade today and I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, that'll be no big deal. And I get there and I'm like, how is this? It's under a freaking brace on the front fender.
Yeah.
It's the worst. But yeah, so that's it, gentlemen. We have.
But they also keep them wide open. Like they have, you open up the hood now and there's nothing, nothing in your way. So you got all this room to work in. That's the nice thing about what they're doing now.
So
yeah. But gentlemen, we have all these old school ones, and it looks like Dentcraft was the winner of the oldies but goodies round this.
Well,
wait,
They changed the market when they came on in the early 2000s, and they produced tools, upgraded the handle style. Last week, I showed an old J handle tool and Dentcraft upgraded that.
Dude, I was at the NACE convention when Dentcraft first came on the scene, and it was Dentcraft and Ding King were like the two big guys, and Dentcraft came in. And their quality right out of the bat blew us all away. We were all like, whoa. I mean, his coating that he was putting on the handles back then was way far better than anything. All of his tools looked way nicer than any of our stuff. And he was doing those tips where they're bulleted down really for long ways, down to a little tiny bullet tip. And I remember going up to him and I'm going, how are you machining this? How are you doing that? Oh, it's all secret.
Yeah. And they're still very secretive.
They're very secretive.
I've been to Dentcraft a couple of times, and like they'll let you tour a little bit of like some stuff, but no, you're not going to get to see like any of the tool making process at all.
Yeah.
Good luck. Not happening. Yep. But yeah, well, gentlemen, I think we're wrapping up here.
Yeah, that was a good show, buddy. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel.
Hold on before we go, guys. If you've been listening, notice we kind of do things a little bit different. We're starting to do things a little bit differently and shifting gears on how we do the show. If you have any type of segment ideas that you would love to see, we had oldies but goodies today. We had some health tips, and then we had new tool. So those are 3 different things that we brought to the show today. If you, for some reason, think it would be a cool idea for the show, feel free to send us a message or put it on PDR Tool Time, and let's make it a reality for you, because we don't do this just for us. We do it for you guys.
And also subscribe to our YouTube page, please. It helps our analytics. We appreciate that. And check us out on YouTube.
Yeah.
And actually, can I mention one other thing? I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
So I'm going on vacation in June.
Okay.
I'm going away for a couple weeks, and I'm thinking about having someone come in and be me for a couple weeks.
So you're thinking we need a special guest host to fill in the Daniel seat?
I'm joking. Daniel's not an alcoholic. He just likes rum. There's
I'm a rummy.
Okay. Do they have to be old?
No. Well, you have to be freaking good. You got to be able to do my Tony. She will have high standards, and I've tried to do this a couple of times and it hasn't worked out. So this time, if I do it, I've got to find somebody that's capable of doing what she's usually used to getting out of me.
So you need someone to come and come be a dent guy at your shop.
So here's the advantage that you're going to have, that you get to come here, see how my shop runs, see how it is to work with somebody doing all your estimates. And honestly, all you're going to be doing is doing dents all day and pay a commission. And so if you're interested, reach out to me and we'll talk and see if it's something that we can get together on.
Go spend a couple of weeks working in California.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful California, wine country, make it a working vacation.
So do we have to find someone to replace you for the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be gone. I'll be out.
Wow.
How many weeks?
Secret.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh, so we got 2 weeks that we need to
You can survive without me for 2 weeks.
No. We need a replacement Grom for 2 weeks on the PDR Tool Time. Who can we do?
Man. Well,
Paul Corden.
We're going to go ahead and take applications starting now. Send them
to
Vince.
Vince, yeah. Send them to Vince.
Yeah. All right, guys. What do you have to say?
Remember, level up your tools.
Don't do stupid stuff.
And embrace the crazy.
See y'all.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the industry and tool-related news every week.
Visit AnsonPDR.com for the largest selection for just about all your PDR tools. where you'll find hog glue and hog tabs.